evening, and thank you for joining Local 5's first 5 p.m. here on WFRV Plus. I am your host, Indiana Shills, back with another week. Christmas week, guys. I hope you guys are all in the holiday spirit. I know we had a little fun Christmas party with a bunch of my friends over the weekend. Not much else to say. You know, it was a great time. Got to see some friends I haven't seen in a while from the friend group back home. Went out to a bar, a little after party, as you'd say. Really good time. Just everybody was there. We were watching the Packer game. You know, that's another story. We really probably shouldn't talk too much about the Packers, but they completely blew that game. Let's be honest. For this week, we should have shows every single day still except Christmas. I will not be here on Christmas. I am going to be heading home for a little fun. I'll be here Christmas Eve, but after my show, I'll be headed back down to some family and be able to see my cousins, aunts, uncles, cousin Austin. He's watching today. Got to give him a little shout out. Thank you for tuning in. Excited to see you on Christmas Eve. We'll get up to no good, probably annoy Aunt Lisa a little bit, which is usually my specialty, I'd like to say. So looking forward to a really fun weekend a week with family, friends, and everything. But let's go ahead and jump right into the news right now. Our top story today, unfortunately, one person was killed in a serious crash on Monday afternoon on State Highway 26 in Winnebago County. According to the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office, deputies were called shortly after 1 p.m. to a report of a crash on State Highway 26 at Cottonwood Avenue in the town of Nikimi. Investigators said the crash involved a passenger van driven by a 79-year-old Oshkosh man. Despite life-saving efforts, the man was pronounced dead at the scene. A pickup truck pulling a trailer was also involved in the crash. The truck was driven by a 19-year-old Oshkosh man. He was uninjured. Authorities said the area remained closed as of Monday afternoon and is expected to open around 6 p.m. while investigation continued. The crash remains under investigation, and we will provide more information on our website at wearegreenbay.com as more becomes available. Now, on to the next story of the day. We have Local 5's Paul Stino. He is out with Riley Engelbert, our photog, covering a Green Bay School Board meeting about some, I believe, security changes. The Green Bay School Board is looking into running a pilot program using weapon detection systems in the schools and stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at Paul Stino's live shot that ran in our 5 p.m. show.
Well, another big night for the Green Bay School Board. Members are scheduled to vote on whether to implement a pilot program for portable weapon detection systems. This is going to be inside some of their schools. Local 5's Paul Stino live now with us with more on that. Paul?
Yeah, Tom, and all of this is in response to an incident that happened at the beginning of the school year when district officials and police officers found a handgun inside of Preble High School. Since then, they have made several major modifications to the district's safety and security policies, including a new clear backpack policy at its middle and high schools, and they also beefed up the consequences for kids who fight or bring guns to school. District staff say the next step is to test a portable weapons detection system in the schools through a temporary pilot program, measuring things like whether it's actually keeping weapons out of schools, if it's creating disruptive bottlenecks at entrances, and how it's impacting school climate and students' mental health. Officials then would decide whether or not to make the pilot program permanent. As far as the cost for the pilot program for the weapon detection system, a spokesperson for the district says they do have a no-cost option, as well as several reduced cost options they've been able to negotiate down with the security companies, although the spokesperson did not give us an exact cost. And Tom, it's important to remember that the Board of Education will have the final say tonight on whether or not to implement that pilot program for the portable weapon detection systems. The meeting tonight begins at 5:30. It's right here at the district office building here on Broadway here in Green Bay. Live in Green Bay, Paul Stino, Local 5 News.
All right. Thank you, Paul, for that update. We will have more information as that meeting progresses and concludes tonight on our website at wearegreenbay.com. Paul will give you the latest on what is being said and what could come out of that. So let's move on to our next story of the day. A Green Bay sports bar will be closing after the Packers season. A longtime Green Bay sports bar announced on its social media it will close down. According to a post, Burkle's Sports Bar and Grill has been sold and will close once the the Packers season concludes. The bar has operated in Green Bay for 45 years. In a quote, it said, "This place has been so much more than a bar. It's been a home for game days, celebrations, laughter, friendship, and unforgettable memories. We are incredibly grateful to our loyal customers, our amazing staff, and everyone who helped make Burkle's such a special part of Green Bay." The owner said the decision comes after decades of business and community involvement, noting the bar has supported communities locally and beyond Wisconsin. Burkle said it will remain open through the end of the season, encouraging customers to stop in for games, drinks, and final gatherings before it closes. We'll be sure to let everyone know once we have a finalizing closing date, the Post said. Burkle's plans to share updates on its social media, and you can find more updates on wearegreenbay.com. So hopefully the Packers make a nice long playoff run, maybe to the Super Bowl. Burkle stays open a little longer. Make sure you go ahead and get your final drink before Burkle's ends up closing. Now, next up, the Manitowoc Police Department, they have selected their next chief of police. The Manitowoc Police and Fire Commission selected Assistant Police Chief John Musial, the second to serve as the city's next chief of police. Musial will assume the role following the retirement of current police chief Nick Reimer, which is expected in early 2026. The commissioner president, Michael Wellner, said the commission is confident in Musial's leadership. Assistant Chief Musial has demonstrated exceptional dedication, professionalism, and vision throughout his career. The commission is confident that his leadership will continue to strengthen the Manitowoc Police Department and enhance its partnerships in our community. Now, Musial, he began his law enforcement career in 2009 and has served with the Manitowoc Police Department since that time. Officials say that his appointment reflects a long-standing commitment to public safety and proven ability to lead with integrity. The commission also recognized Chief Reimer for his service, thanking him for 29 years of dedication to the Manitowoc Police Department and the Manitowoc community. Now, Ellie Davis, she is our other reporter working today. She has a pretty interesting story about how people are kind of hopping on this new trend called Thriftmas. Now, Thriftmas obviously is going to certain, like Goodwill and stuff, and finding gifts there. So let's go ahead and take a listen at what Ellie Davis, her full thing is in the 6 p.m. show. So we got a little snippet, though, in our 5 p.m. show.
Well, holiday shopping gets expensive, doesn't it? But there's a growing trend out there called Thriftmas, and it's helping shoppers to save money and find some unique gifts. This year, more people are turning to thrift stores to shop secondhand for their holiday needs. For shoppers at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Store, they say participating in Thriftmas just makes sense because they're able to find affordable and one-of-a-kind gifts.
It's cost-friendly. I'm a college student, so I'm working with a budget. And then also it's better for the environment. And I feel like you're able to get more unique gifts for the people that you love.
Yeah, and get this. In 2018, the Environmental Protection Agency estimated about 17 million textiles were put into landfills just last year.
So, like I said, Ellie Davis's full report will be available running in our 6 p.m. show. That will air on here on WFRV Plus. So stay tuned right after my show. She should probably lead the top of the show, if not just a little bit after. Only a short 6 o'clock show. I think only a half hour today. Not 100% sure on that. But let's continue on with some more stories today. Weather's obviously a big one to talk about, but we'll save that for when Chief Meteorologist Luke Sampe pops in, who is playing for the WFRV Fantasy Football Championship. I'm sure he'll talk about that. As you know, he beat me in the first round after I had a 90% chance to win at one point. Then Ryan Kudish ended up jinxing me, as you'd like to say. So staying over in Manitowoc County now, a child was reportedly hit by a truck early Monday morning while trying to board a school bus. According to the sheriff's office, around 7:20 this morning, deputies were sent to the 700 block of County Highway J for a report of a child being hit by a vehicle. The child was trying to board the bus. When authorities got to the scene, it was learned that the school bus was stopped with its lights flashing and stop arm extended. A 15-year-old was trying to cross County J when he was hit by a Ford F-150. The driver was identified as a 59-year-old man from St. Nazianz, and he was cited for the incident. The child reportedly had minor injuries from the incident. He was sent to a medical facility, but it sounds like everything should be okay there. Authorities wanted to remind drivers to remain alert and cautious around school buses. Local 5 News will update the story as we learn more. All right, guys, we are going to head to our first commercial break. When we come back, Luke Sampi will be here. We'll talk a little bit about the weather and what to expect heading into Christmas. And then I will conclude the show with, probably some fun stuff. So we'll be back in just 1 minute. Welcome back to Local 5's first 5 p.m. here on WFRV Plus. Luke should be joining us in just a couple minutes here. Mercedes-Benz, they've agreed to pay over $630,000 to Wisconsin over alleged emission frauds. Now, it sounds like the automakers secretly installed devices in hundreds of thousands of vehicles to pass emissions tests, a coalition of attorney generals announced on Monday. According to the coalition, between 2008 and 2016, the German automaker equipped more than 211,000 diesel passenger cars and vans with software devices that optimize emission controls during the test, but reduce the controls during normal operations. The devices enabled vehicles to far exceed legal limits for nitrogen oxide, a pollutant that causes respiratory illnesses and contributes to smog. The state alleges that Mercedes installed the device because it couldn't reach design and performance goals such as fuel efficiency while complying with emission standards. The automaker allegedly concealed the devices from state and federal regulators and the public while marketing the vehicles as environmental friendly and compliant with emission standards. A spokesperson for the automaker had no immediate comment. Now, Mercedes-Benz USA has already agreed in 2020 to pay $1.5 billion to the U.S. government and California state regulators to resolve emission cheating allegations. 50 attorney generals, including the attorney generals in the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico, make up the coalition announced on Monday. California was not part of the group. The settlement calls for the automaker to pay the attorney generals $120 million, with another $29 million payment suspended and potentially waived pending completion of a consumer relief program. That effort will extend to roughly 40,000 vehicles, with the devices that hadn't been repaired or permanently removed from the road by August 1st, 2023. The owners of the vehicle would get $2,000 per vehicle if they installed approved emissions modification software and an extended warranty. Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Call said Wisconsin's portion of the settlement is $630,845. The settlement also calls for Mercedes to comply with reporting requirements and refrain from any further unfair or deceptive marketing or sales of diesel vehicles. Volkswagen ended up paying $2.8 billion to settle a criminal case due to emission cheating as well. Now we move over to a couple national stories. Jim Beam, they're closing its Kentucky distillery for a year amid tariffs, decline in demand. Bourbon maker Jim Beam halting productions at one of its distilleries in Kentucky for at least a year as whiskey industry navigates tariffs from the Trump administration and slumping demand for a product that needs years of aging before it's ready. Jim Beam said the decision to pause bourbon making at its Claremont location in 2026 will give the company time to invest in improvements at the distillery. The bottling and warehouse at the site will remain open along with the James B. Beam Distillery Co. Visitor Center and Restaurant. The company's larger distilleries in Boston, Kentucky, will continue to operate. In a statement, they said, "We are assessing production levels to best meet consumer demands." And it looks like, bourbon makers are going to have to gamble well into the future. Jim Beam's flagship bourbon requires at least 4 years of aging in barrels before getting bottled. This means whiskey makers are dealing with back and forth arguments over tariffs in Europe and Canada, where boycotts started after the Trump administration, suggested annexing the country into the U.S. Overall exports of American spirits fell 9% in the second quarter of 2025 compared to a year ago. The most dramatic decrease came in U.S. spirits exported to Canada, which fell 85% in April through June quarter. Bourbon production has grown significantly in recent years. As of January, there was about 16 million barrels of bourbon aging in Kentucky warehouses, more than triple the amount held in 15 years ago. But sales figures and polling show Americans are drinking less than they have in a decade. About 95% of all bourbon made in the U.S. comes from Kentucky. The trade group estimates the industry brings in more than 23,000 jobs and 2.2 billion, to the state. Now, we got our guy Luke Sampe here. How we doing, Luke?
Hey, how you doing, Indy?
It's good to have you back on the show.
Been a minute.
It's been a minute for sure, but hey, it's good to have you back. We got some weather to talk about and kind of the next couple days, but we also got a fantasy football championship to talk about.
We got a couple topics. That bourbon story you were just doing.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried to get into that bourbon thing.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
It's not for me either, man.
That's straight up gasoline.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're drinking a $180 bottle.
Devin, my boss Devin loves it. He loves sampling bourbon. It is not for me either. Give me a Miller Lite and sit me in a corner. That's all I need.
I don't know.
It's tough.
It's unbelievable the amount of people that love it.
That just sit there and just with an ice cube, a little
and it's clearly a thing. But
yeah,
I've tried to do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Me neither, man. It's just tough to get down.
I know.
I suppose. So, what are we looking at for the weather here? You want me to bring up our little OBS thing here with the 7-day planner?
What does OBS mean?
Something broadcast system. Orbital.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. So there we go. Yeah, we got a warm stretch here coming through all the way straight through Christmas. Obviously, the opposite of where we've been.
Yeah.
So far this month.
Definitely.
And I think we'll be able to hold on to what's called a white Christmas. That's
just barely.
That's 1 inch of snow on the ground the morning of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be fresh. It's kind of this snow that's been thawed, and then froze again, and then so it's hard, it's chunky, it's icy,
right?
It's dirty. It's dirty snow for
Rudolph. He's got to light it up.
Yeah,
but I'm looking at that Packer game, man. I'm headed to that game, and it's looking like it might be a little ugly.
Do you know what Saturday is aside from the Packer game?
What's Saturday?
My birthday.
Oh, are you going to the game?
Oh yeah, I happen.
And what's your record?
Well, this year I'm 2-0. I've gone to 2 games.
2-0 this year.
But this is a game that I knew I was going to in summer because I split a green package with another family friend, and this was the way we divvy up the tickets. This was going to be my game.
Yep.
And I saw it was going to be the 27th or 28th. I'm like, oh, maybe it'll be close. Maybe they'll put it on. And sure enough, they put it on my birthday. So,
kind of works out nice for you, but
Jordan Love or Malik Willis, man, he can't let me down.
No, and he can't let me down either. Like I said,
Our special teams can't let us down.
Oh my goodness gracious! I don't even want to get into it. I had PTSD just watching that. It was sickening. The Packers just beat themselves, man. And
I know.
Like I said, I always say this in sports. I do not care if we lose a game. I care if we beat ourselves. And Saturday, we beat ourselves clearly.
Yeah, we had them.
No, it was over.
We had them, and it's like this is what's unfortunate about this whole ordeal is do you remember the Lions fan base from 23?
Oh yeah,
loud, obnoxious, clearly acting like they've never been there before because for many of them they haven't. There's a whole generation of Bears fans that have been in the basement for years, a long time.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you, they are like the 2023 Lions fan base because it's like they're already. I'm telling you, they're peaking too early, and they're gonna get knocked out right away. First round of playoffs comes around, whatever game they're gonna lose because they don't know how to win. Mm-hmm. They are getting wins handed to them.
They are. They've had a lot of one-score games this year where it's gone their way.
No, I'm not impressed. I'm impressed with the fact that the Bears are competitive. I like that. I think that's good.
That's good for the Packers-Bears
and I'm glad that
sure.
Like I have friends and family that are Bears fans are from there. I'm glad they finally have something to grab onto because it sucks to be in the basement for so long.
It does.
But I'm telling you, they are chirpy, they are rude, they are vulgar on social media, and
Luke's got a big social media grab out here in Northeast Wisconsin.
Let me tell you, they're gonna run flat on their face again because that's what happens. That's called karma, And
big believer in karma here.
I think we'll get a crack at them again, probably down there in the wild card round.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Or the Packers could win out and they could lose out. Now we got a whole different situation.
And that's also very, very possible.
Because the old man Rodgers himself came through for the Pack yesterday.
He did. What an ending to that game.
That
The way that ref announced that,
Oh, it was awesome.
well, it was terrible if you're a Lions fan.
Oh, but yeah,
because
I know,
he
but I
said
was loving it.
the result of the play was a touchdown.
And
or,
everyone
you know,
just starts going nuts, and then
and
it's
then
like,
it's negated because of the rule, which was the right rule. And how about that? You want to talk about karma, right?
mm-hmm.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. Good for you. Finally. The clip block that they do off in the end zone there, that actually the Packers got called on, I believe, last year, year before.
Yeah,
They finally got called on it.
they do that a lot.
Gee, I wonder why they lost.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that's one of their
they're actually
go-tos.
officiating it right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not the guy who showed up with the sweatshirt that said Green Bay sucks. Remember that? I'm on Rod.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Rent
Good.
free.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Good for you, bud. Hope you enjoy not being in the playoffs this year.
Now let's talk fantasy football. You know, we got a little bit of time here before I got to let you go. You're in the championship. You beat me in the first round, unfortunately, after I had a 90% chance to win. Ryan Kudish jinxed everything out of me. You pretty much took care of business last week. Now you're going against Nathan Himsel, first timer in the Fantasy Football League. It's going to go? It's going to go to the Storm Team 5.
All
But
that,
why not go
all
to
that
the
matters
Chiefs?
is we got the title in the weather office.
That's true.
You know, we had Tim Greenman, who's the production manager here now, just running his mouth. Tim Greenman ran his mouth. He's like the Chicago Bears fan base right now. He peaked way too early. And guess what? It's over.
It's over.
It's done for him.
See ya. He's
it's
going to be
done
on a
for
beach.
him.
He's on a beach with me now.
Get your tickets to Nashotah Beach ready. Because we know you're not going to Cancun. Might be a little chilly on Nashotah Beach.
Yeah,
But-
it might be a little.
So yeah, I'm not gonna get cocky. The only time I push back is when people run their mouth to me.
Karma.
You run your mouth to me. Well, okay, now we're gonna have to
Hey,
play.
if you're gonna go for the throne, you better make sure it counts.
My mama always said you're gonna get dirty if you play with the pigs. That I don't like to do that, but if
push
comes to shove, I'm not. I'm gonna have to get in there with them.
All right. Well, we're gonna hit our final commercial break. That's been Luke Sanfey. Thank you so much for joining me. Catch Luke at 6:00 right off the top.
Did we talk about the weather?
Yeah,
we did.
We talked a little bit about
mild.
it. Mild, yeah.
So the big issue here is going to be the freeze thaw cycle, so we could have some icy spots with that freeze up again at night. That's about it.
Yeah, that's all. All right, Luke.
Go Pack.
Go Pack. Thanks for joining, and I'll be back right after these commercial breaks to finish out the show. All right, guys, welcome back to Local 5's First 5 p.m. here on WFRV Plus. Just me to finish out the show. Great to have Luke on the show. Always fun time talking football with him. And you know him, he's kind of a character when it comes to the other teams in the division. But yeah, Luke's great, and it's good to have him back on the show. Unfortunately, he won't be on too much. He is off for Christmas and stuff coming up, so you'll see a lot more of Ryan Kudish on the show, which I'm also excited about. Kudish, always a good guy to talk to as well. Now, big thing, guys, Powerball. The drawing for the winning lottery numbers Monday night for a record 46 times since the last jackpot was claimed, as a string of failed sweepstakes ballooned to the top prize of $1.6 billion. It's the fifth largest jackpot in the United States history after more than 3 months without a Powerball winner. The game's long odds creator created a massive windfall that has enticed people to splurge $2 per ticket ahead of the live drawing tonight. That will be on our website at wearegreenbay.com right at 10 o'clock. Lottery officials made the odds tougher in 2015 to create these humongous jackpots and draw more attention, while also making it easier to win small prizes. Experts say it's a sign the lottery is operating exactly as designed, and no one should really expect to match all 6 numbers and make a killing. Still, somebody will likely win at some point, and many players are hoping to be that lucky winner. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. So, you know what? Tonight, go get yourself a ticket. Maybe you have a chance. Other people think it's a scam. Obviously, well, you know what? The odds are against you, but you never know. I mean, hey, $1.6 billion, it could change your life. So, Now, the final story of the day, one more national story, kind of interesting NFL news. After years of debates, proposals, and pleas from local and state politicians, the Kansas City Chiefs are moving across the state line, making a historic gain for Kansas and another heartbreaking loss for Missouri in the world of professional football. Following a legislative coordinating council meeting on Monday afternoon, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly confirmed the Chiefs entered an agreement with the state to leave Truman Sports Complex after 53 years. Monday's LCC meeting received unanimous consent by lawmakers and was attended by top officials with the Chiefs, like owner Clark Hunt. The proposal states that Kansas sales tax and revenue bonds will cover up to 70% of the total construction for the new stadium. The bonds will be paid off with state sales and liquor tax revenues generated in a defined area around the sports complex. The Associated Press says it has previously been used to build local attractions like the Kansas Speedway and the Tanger at Legends Outlet in Kansas City, Kansas. Not Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas. Excuse me. It's been rumored that this area in western, what is that word? Wyandotte County could be a future home for the Chiefs, according to legislators who spoke previously with Nexstar's WDAF. This was confirmed on Monday afternoon when the Chiefs shared on the official team website that it plans to build a state-of-the-art domed stadium and mixed-use district, along with the best in-class training facility, team headquarters, and mixed-use district in Olathe, totaling a minimum of $4 billion of development in the state of Kansas. Now, according to the Chiefs, the new dome stadium could put Kansas City in the running for future Super Bowls, Final Fours, and other year-round events on the world stage. You're seeing this more and more with teams that are building new stadiums. Obviously, with the Bears, there's a big talk about that. The Bucks, even did it with the Pfizer Forum. They've really built up that area, the Deer District, and it's something really cool because at the end of the day, you're thinking about more than just what the team is doing. You're trying to use this for a multi-use purpose. You know, you want to host these big events, the Final Four, the Super Bowl, the concerts, sold out stadium tours, stuff like that. So you're really starting to see more and more kind of stadiums cater to that and districts being built around them. This is not the first time Missouri has lost an NFL sports team, though, due to funding. The Rams moved back to Los Angeles after 21 years in St. Louis. Now, it's just unfortunate for Missouri, but just another big hit for them. But that is all we have time for today. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to First 5 p.m. Like I said, we will be here tomorrow. We'll be here Wednesday, off on Thursday, and Friday we'll be back closing out your Christmas week. I hope everybody's got the Christmas gifts ready. Start wrapping if you have not yet already. But anywho, let's go ahead and send you on your merry way. You guys have a great rest of your Monday, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for another show on Tuesday. All right, guys, take it easy.